Hey everyone, my name's Sam71, and today I decided to come up with a video for all the cards you should be looking out for with Jumpstart Historic Horizons. This video should be uploaded on the same day that Jumpstart Historic Horizons is being released, so if you're wondering what cards you should be looking out for, what cards you should be crafting, what cards you think are going to be good, this is the place to find out. In this video, I'm going to be going over some honorable mention and cards that I think you should be looking out for and keeping an eye on. Maybe you want to craft them, maybe you don't, as well as the cards I think are the top cards you should definitely be crafting and using wild cards on. All of the cards being introduced into Arena are from the old sets Modern Horizons 1 and as well as Modern Horizons 2. I myself am a very big fan of the modern format, and so I have played with actually every single card on this list. So if anyone's interested on these cards at the power levels, probably one of your best bets learning how powerful these cards can be. So without further ado, let's go start with the honorable mentions. The first honorable mention here is a Goblin and an Archomancer. This is a card that everyone should be looking out for because this is for Storm. We do have some Storm cards in Arena. The thing about this is that it's only for red and green spells. So it's something to look out for. It's not exactly Baral or Goblin Electromancer, but something to look out for. Potentially might come up with some of the things. There is Shadow Storm being added into the format as well. So who knows? Maybe Storm will be a thing in Arena for Historic, but no way to know for sure. Next one is changing Outcast. Added this card into the honorable mentions because this card is a shapeshifter and it's a changeling. So technically you can put it into rogues. You could potentially put it into just aggressive decks, maybe ninjas if that's everything. It's just a good aggressive one-drop creature that can be filling any tribal needs. And one thing that you're going to be hearing from me a lot is that tribal's getting a really big buff. Next honorable mention is going to be Haunted Dead. Haunted Dead is something zombies are getting increased buffs. I don't think it scales into the zombie deck, but it can be very useful for the zombies. As well, this is something for if and when Dredge ever gets added into Arena, Haunted Dead will be a card that you'll be playing. So at least craft 2 of this card if it's something you're interested in, but again, honorable mention, it's not anything that you should be crafting anytime soon. It's a good card to keep your eye on. Next one is Insolent Neonate. Same idea as the last one, is because a card that just sees play here and there. It's a good card to pick up just because it's utility, it's a rummaging effect. It's good for the Dredge if they ever add it, but I doubt they will add it anytime soon, but something to keep your eye on. Again, it's the only honorable mention for a reason. Next one is going to be Outcast. Outcast, this is on the honorable mention list. Probably actually shouldn't be. I actually think this card is pretty good. This is probably one of the few cards in the set that I actually think gets added to the sacrifice deck lists, at least to the Rakdos sacrifice deck, just to give the deck an extra a game plan other than if your opponent has a Leyline or Resin Piece on board. Potentially for the Jund decks, this is played in the food decks in Modern, so that's why I'm thinking it'll be played in the food decks in Historic. It is a very useful and powerful effect. I just don't know if the power level is there for Historic, but it's a card that you definitely should look out for. Potentially the food decks will be running this card. Abiding Grace is the next one on the list. This is one that potentially can be played in the life gain decks, simply for the fact that it can recycle your Soul Sisters as well as Selfless Saviors. This card's hit and miss. It's also good for Sarah Ascendant, which is in the format, but who's to say? Keep your eye on it. Honorable mention for a reason. The last honorable mention is Thought Monitor. Thought Monitor, this card gets better with the more cards we get added to Arena. This is a card you should be keeping your eye on. If you get it, don't be too sad. Arena and Magic is a game that you want to be investing with your cards in. If you get it, don't be too upset. This card will be played and will be useful as time goes on and we get more cards added. It's played in Modern right now in all the food decks, in the Urza decks, so keep your eye on it. It's not too useful at the moment, but it's a card to, I'm not unhappy opening this card. Onto the actual good cards. Number 1 on the list is Ranger Captain of Eos. This is a huge buff to a lot of creature decks out there. All the utility creature decks, all the aggro creature decks, giving Boros an extra creature, giving Naya extra stuff that's potentially played in Angels. Again, grabbing your utility creatures is also going to help make Death Shadow very good as well. So we can potentially go into Mardu Death Shadow stuff, territory, or maybe we want to go into maybe some Esper Death Shadow. Who's to say? But Ranger Captain of Eos is a fine addition to the format, and I'm very happy to see it. Next one is Restoration Angel. Restoration Angel is an extremely good card, but you don't want to play it in the Angels deck because it says target non-Angel. Please remember this effect. It's non-Angel. Don't play it in Angels. Play it in the Blink deck, where you're getting a bunch of Blink effects, and you'll see more of those stuff coming down on the list. But Restoration Angel, an incredibly good card. It's a card that you want to craft if you're interested in doing any sort of Blink shenanigans, as well as just a good utility creature. Next, we have Sarah's Emissary. This is an incredibly good, powerful card for the Reanimator deck. Historic right now has a lot of graveyard hate, so keep your eye out for that. But best of 1 formats, Sarah's Emissary, it's sick, it's awesome, it's great. It makes your opponent not have fun, which is pretty fun. Next one is the Vesper Lark. Vesper Lark is on here because we have the Daviro's Withering. effect as well, which I will bring up right now. The Withering effect. Iris Withering, which combos with the Vesper Lark. It's a 2-card combo. Target creature gets perpetually -1/-2, which means that this card will forever become a 0/-1 and will target itself in the graveyard, and you can just infinite combo. You can Blood Artist, Cruel Celebrant, Soul Sister. It's dumb. Next card is Archmage's Karm. This is a card that's going to be added to every single blue control deck in the world. It is not hard to get triple blue. People will say it's hard to get triple blue. It's not hard to get triple blue. It is ridiculously easy to cast Niv Mizzet in this format. It is not hard for Jeskai to get triple blue at all. You get this card. It's great for all your control decks. If you're worried about triple blue, play blue-white. Preaching Hippocamp. This is the last and final piece we need for Birthing Pod, aka Prime Speaker Zagana, or Vanifar. One of them. This is going to be an incredibly good, useful card for all those people wanting to play pod decks. Incredibly good utility creature. It's good. It's good for that deck. I'm happy to see Hippocamp. Thumbs up for me. Mole Drifter. Again, another card for the Blink deck. Also just a good value creature. It's primarily going to be played in the Blink deck, so it's a good card. Bone Shards. Incredibly good, useful card being added to the format. This is the third effect. We really had Bone Splinter, then we had Spark Harvest, now we have Bone Shards. So this is going to be incredibly useful for all the Arcanist decks out there, and any other like small aggro deck, maybe even for like the Rakdos aggro decks or stuff like that. It has essentially no cost in sacrificing or discarding a card, and you get Destroy a creature or Planeswalker. It's incredibly good, and for the low aggro decks, not too good for mid-range, but we have Push and Blood Chiefs there, so you're not too worried about it. Dragon Rage Channeler. Oh, I have words to say. So Dragon Rage Channeler is going to be immediately added to all the Izzet Phoenix decks, as well as every single Arcanist deck, because my god, is this card insane. It's incredibly good value creature. For anyone wondering, the nickname for this card is Darcy, because DRC. Darcy. It's the nickname. It's an incredibly good card that will become a 3/3 with these. People say, hey, oh, we don't have Seal of Fire, we don't have Mishra's Bauble, you just need instant creature, sorcery, planeswalker. It's not hard, I promise you. Just play Signature Supplier, and it has Surveil itself, which, for anyone who doesn't know, look at the top card of your library, you may put that card in your graveyard if you don't want it. It's a walking Search for Escanta, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, think of it that way. It's an incredibly good card, craft it immediately. Harmonic Prodigy. Originally, everyone's going to was like, oh, why do you have Harmonic Prodigy on this? So, here's why. Mono Red Devotion is an incredibly good, powerful deck in Modern right now, and we have essentially all the exact same cards for that deck in Historic. So, minus some bolts, but just play Lightning Strike instead. Have fun with your Fnatic Amoguses. This deck's actually good. I'm not even memeing. Like, it's really good. Spiteful Sliver. This card, Sliver, I'm going to have a whole thing with Slivers later in the thing. This is its own thing because this is getting a mention here. Because Spiteful Sliver allows you to have some cute plays with the Boros mid-range deck that Charizard James has created. As well, if you want to, you can one-turn and kill shot your opponent with Spiteful Sliver. Just have Spiteful Sliver on board and then cast Extinction Event. No Extinction Event. 7-mana red spell that deals 20 damage. I'm gonna put the photo of it up here. Star of Extinction, that's it. I'm remembering now. Just play Star of Extinction. Congratulations, 20 damage to the board. Your opponent loses. Seems pretty good. Unholy Heat, this is gonna be, once again, this is added to every single Arcanist deck, as well as every single Arclight Phoenix deck. It's incredibly good. Dealing 6 damage to a Planeswalker means you're one-shotting a Nissa. After they uptick, you're one-shotting a Teferi. After they uptick, you're killing Elder Gargaroths. You're killing Comas. It's not hard to get Delirium in those decks, so Unholy Heat is a very welcome include, and a card that you should immediately craft 4 of. Sanctum Weaver, this is a card for the Enchantress deck. This is an incredibly good card for Enchantress, and one of the things that's going to make Enchantress actually viable in Historic, which I'm very excited for. Please make Enchantresses, all you Enchantress players, have fun, go nuts. There's going to be a lot more cards going down as well. We have Scale Up. Scale Up I originally wasn't going to add in here, but it's in here because you Feather players can now be Naya. Have fun with that. Also, you can potentially do Arcanist shenanigans, I guess. Someone's going to do some Arcanist, and like there's the Minion of the Mighty combo. But it's a Minion of the Mighty, so Get Scale Up if you play either of those decks or want to meme. do your best Strider Stone impression. I don't know. Winding Way is incredibly good and useful card for all of you tribal decks that need a little bit more card advantage. So things like Slivers, things like maybe humans, even maybe you want Spirit, more card advantage in your Spirit deck, or some of the lesser tribal decks. This is just an incredibly good and useful card. It can even be used in Elves instead of Lead the Stampede. The ability to go creature or land just makes the card even better than Lead the Stampede. So grab it or don't. Priest of the Fell Rights, a very good. Finally, we have a good reanimation effect that isn't just Unburial Rights. Yeah, this is an incredibly good card. Incredibly efficient, well-costed effect. Also has Unearth, so you can bring it back. It'll gain haste, and then you can sack it at the end bit. It's an incredibly good card. You can make Marty Reanimator. They'll probably be good in Best of One because, once again, Historic has a lot of graveyard hate. It's a lot. Soul Herder, hi, all you Blink fanatics out there. Have fun is all I'm going to say. Play Yorion, put this into your deck, craft 4 of it. If you want to have fun and just blink all the things, put your Charming Princes and stuff in there. If you just want to go to Value Town, this is the card to do it. Have fun. There's Thragtusk that you can blink. Go nuts. Soul Herder. It's good. I don't know what else do you want me to say. Sterling Grove, Enchantress. Go nuts. You get a good Enchantress now. We now have a 2-mana Enchantress for you. Again, go nuts. Have fun. Territorial Kavu. This is a card that you might think, oh, why are we including this card in this? Because Niv Mizzet. Have fun having a 2-mana 5/5 in all your Niv Mizzet decks that you can search off Niv Mizzet and give yourself an aggro plan. Also, because that's the only thing that Niv Mizzet kind of struggles with, is not having a clean way to end the game quickly. Go nuts. Zabaz added in here. There's some modular cards. I don't think a lot of the good modular cards, but there's some modular cards. So, you know, have fun with Zabaz. There's also the Artifact aggro deck. There's a lot of Artifact hate in the format, so be wary, but he's fine. I wouldn't be upset by opening him. Blade Splicer, again, Blink deck, go nuts. Davriel is neat. The uptick on Davriel is pretty cool. I don't know what deck wants him, and the -2 of grabbing an offer and condition is weird. There's not a lot of obvious choices. Craft at your own risk. But at the same time, his uptick's pretty cool. It's not terrible. Pretty good for the discard deck. So if you're like discard Tagrid stuff, craft Davriel. Dabra's Withering, again, this is for the Vesper Lark combo. Goblin Dark Dwellers, this is an insane and very good card for all of your decks that just want to cast K command over and over, or Prismari command, or just want to be mid-range value stuff. This is a very good card for the Rakdos decks, for the bigger mana Rakdos decks. If you want to jam any of that, I'll be building a deck on this on stream. Tune in for that. But otherwise, this is an incredibly good card that you should all take advantage of. Hardened Scales. This is for all you +1/+1 counter players. This is also for the Artifact modular decks. I don't think we have enough modular creatures for Hardened Scales Affinity. I'm willing to be wrong, but I don't think we have enough of the good modular cards to make it work. Otherwise, the counters decks, go nuts. Like we already Swarm Shambler. There's Stonecoil Serpent. So you can Stonecoil Serpent for 0. I don't think we have Hangerback Walker. But there's a lot of stuff you can do with this, so go nuts. Seasoned Pyromancer is an incredibly good card that you are going to want in all of your mid-range decks. This is a card that also kind of spawns new archetypes as well. This is for this goes into every mid-range game plan, all your Reanimator stuff, all your regular mid-range aggro stuff, all your regular mid-range value stuff. This can even potentially go into control just to get yourself a little bit more value and drawing more cards. Who's to say? I don't know. Live your best life. This also goes into the Mono Red Devotion deck that I was talking about. This card's incredibly good. It'll probably also go into your Gruul aggro decks. Craft some Seasoned Pyromancers. I recommend 3 to 4 of them, 2 minimum. Tome of the Infinite. This is in here because I don't know how to really rate this card. The only deck I can really think of wanting it is going to be the Paradox Engine deck. That deck kind of fell off the planet, and it got worse with Prismari and K-Command getting added to the format, and you're not guaranteed to get anything. But you can get yourself infinite conjured cards, so that's cool. I guess you can Technically, win con, you can potentially try to infinitely get lightning bolts. Seems okay. Seems janky, but you can do it. Yawgmoth. This is a card in here that I added because this is kind of like in the Vesper Lark deck. This isn't a card that goes into sacrifice decks, as many people might think it does. It doesn't. It builds its own deck, and I don't know what deck that is. Craft at least one of it if you're wanting to do some cool stuff. Proliferate's pretty neat. Otherwise, I don't know where this goes. But it's on the list because it's Yawgmoth. You should craft it because it's an incredibly good magic card. It's protection from humans, but that does not mean your opponent. I just want to make that clear. It does not have protection from your opponent. Just because your opponent's a human doesn't mean that it's protection from them. Sarah, this goes in your angel decks. All your angel players, have fun. This is Sarah, incredibly good. You get a Planeswalker now. You'll probably have like a 4-2 split between Coco and Sarah. So, for all everyone thinking it's like, oh, but it will make your Cocos worse. You don't care. It makes all your angels better. So, it makes a Sarah angel token. So, it's a very good card for all those decks. Sarkon, this card's for me. Because I'm building all the dragon decks. If you're wanting to build dragons and have a fun casting dragon stuff, this is your guy. I'm gonna have fun with it. Everyone else shouldn't though. If you're wanting to go on this ride with me and build dragons and try to make dragons good in Historic, then craft it. Otherwise, let me waste the wild cards and not you. Thunderbreak region, again, dragons. Incredibly good for dragons. Oh yeah, this is also a little bit going into the tribal stuff. So this is everything going forward from here is all tribal stuff. So this is what I mean. We're going turning into a time where tribal is going to be king. A lot of tribal stuff is getting added, and I'm going to let you everyone right now get your witches' vengeances because tribal's going to be insane. Skytride Lookout. This is just your Elvish Visionary, except better. For anyone wondering what Seek does, it'll grab a random card. It was on whatever the effect or the clause needed for it. It'll grab it. So this one says Seek an Elf card. It'll grab a random Elf card from your deck and add it to your hand. My personal opinion, I think this is better than Elvish Visionary. Instead of drawing a random card, you get a random Elf card. So I'm pretty sure that's like 90% of the time better. So replace your Visionaries with this. Llanowar Tribe. This is 3 Llanowar Elves in a trench coat. If you want more mana, this is it. Preludes. This is incredibly good. It'll -1, grabs an elf from your deck, +1. It'll untap an elf and get you more mana, plus an elf in your hand getting bigger. Pretty good. Also, this can potentially also go in the Prime Speaker Vanifar deck. So, it's also very good for that deck as well. Is it going to be a really one? I don't know. But Preludes is very good for your elves decks. Slingling Lieutenant. This is for your goblin players. Goblins are easily going to be black-red now, and this is a very good goblin. It's giving you... This is essentially the 5-mana goblin that I'm forgetting the name of. Slinging Commander, I believe it is. This is a cheaper Slinging Commander. Doesn't cost you mana, and it gives you another win con to go through if your opponent somehow has the board locked up. So this is an incredibly good creature. You're going to want it in all your goblin decks. Same with Munitions Expert. This is an insane add for all you goblins players. It also has the ability to shoot planeswalkers. So again, it shoots Teferis, it shoots the Narsats, it shoots Angrath, it shoots whatever. It'll shoot creatures. As long as you have a Cranko on board and a bunch of goblins, it doesn't matter. You shoot all the things dead. It's insane. Same with Reckless Ringleader. You play this card because it gives your Muxus in hand haste. Very important. Follies Lieutenant. This is good for all humans players. So Mardu humans is going to get a huge buff with this. I'm not too sure there's a reason to go Naya humans or make it 4-color yet, but this is a very good buff for all the humans players. So have fun, humans. Same with the Esper Sentinel. Incredibly good 1-drop because we don't have Noble Hierarchs and we don't have the Theory Champion of the Parish. So Esper Sentinel is going to be your go-to 1-drop as well with Thraben Inspector. Shoreline Scout. This is an incredibly good Merfolk for all you Merfolk players. It makes you a tropical island. It gets bigger. It's an incredibly good 1-drop, which Merfolk need right now. Merfolk do not have... has like 1 good 1-drop. And has like the 1 green drop. Plus, having a card that mana fixes you is pretty good. Substituting the Sea and Sky. This is Merfolk God. This is an incredibly good Merfolk card. plus having indestructible, like drawing you cards, giving you your Merfolk Ward. It's incredibly good. All Merfolk players, you're gonna want this card. Same with Master of the Pearl Trident. Again, especially giving all your creatures Island Walk is insane. Just guys in one of the best, that's one of the best decks right now, as well as the most played decks right now. Incredibly good Lord. Also, this is gonna give Merfolk your third Lord, which is insane to thinking of. I believe elves are tied with the most lords. No, elves still have the most lords. Merfolk now have the second most lords. So this is still an incredibly good creature for all your Merfolk players. Giving you a third lord makes the deck infinitely better. Sliver Hive. We get to talk about slivers now. Slivers are being added into Arena. We have the first sliver, we have predatory sliver, we have cloud shredder sliver, we have a lot of other slivers. Slivers are not as good as they potentially could be. We don't have Cinder Sliver, you don't have Muscle Sliver, and you don't have Sedge Sliver. So you're down 3 lords. We only have 1 lord at the moment. Your next budget lord is going to be Metallic Mimic, which is fine, but it's not great. Slivers, the only reason why slivers are going to be playable is because we have a third Tri-Land, Rainbow Land for the sliver deck. We will have Ancient Ziggurat, we have Unclaimed Territory, and now we have Sliver Hive. So those 3 lands will make the slivers 5 color and even playable, so you have the ability to do that now. Will it be good? I don't think so. I think slivers are going to be below all the other better tribal decks, such as Goblins, Elves, and Merfolk, as well as... I think they'll be on the same tier as humans, but they'll be more than likely below those 3. The only reason they're going to be even able to compete with them is because they can get flying and haste. This is the #1 spot. We got a lot of squirrels. You only got 1 lord. It's not that great, but it's squirrels. So if you want to jam a lot of squirrels, you can. I think they're fine. They're probably at the bottom of the tribal tier list. Are they better than dogs and cats? Maybe? They're better than dogs and cats. They're like second worst. They're at the bottom of the barrel. You could go worse. It could be worse. I still wouldn't recommend it. But hey, you got squirrels. Vampires. We have Hair of the Falcon Wrath being added to the format. This card is fine. The backside makes a 3/2 flyer. It's potentially good for vampires. You're definitely going to keep an eye out for the vampires because we have 2 Innistrad sets coming out. The next most recent one is going to be werewolves, and the one after that is going to be vampires. So vampires are already pretty good. So keep an eye out for that set coming out. Plus, you're getting Cordial Vampire, which is insane. It's incredibly good. It's essentially a pseudo lord for all your vampires. It's incredibly good. You're going to want to play it. Craft it if you're a vampires player. Diagraph Colossus. Hi, zombies. They're getting a lot of tools, and when Innistrad comes out, they're getting even more tools. So have fun with that. It's going to be really good. Plus, it gets counter for each zombie in your graveyard. We have Citrus Suppliers. We have so many. The zombies are like actually going to be competitive, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait. Same with Undead Augur, giving you ability, a very specific Midnight Reaper for your zombies. Gonna be incredibly useful. Same with Dark Salvation, giving you probably one of the better removal spells for the zombies deck. It's incredibly good. You do this for X=2, and it's gonna be pretty heckin' great. Oh, and that looks like the last one. So that is all the cards that I had for prizes. If you are, like I said, we have tribal decks are getting an insane buff. I highly recommend everyone crafting your Witch's Vengeances if you have access to black. But get ready because a lot of these decks are getting a lot of power and they're going to be very aggressive, very flood the board, and they're going to be very good for the ladder. So if you're a tribal player and you love playing tribal, have fun with this because they're going to be a lot of fun stuff. Plus, we have the mono red deck. A lot of stuff is being added to Historic, and it's all very exciting, and I can't wait to see what the community makes. I know I'm going to be making slivers, and I'm going to be doing my best to hit Mythic with slivers on day 1 tomorrow. So hopefully you'll tune into the stream for that. Thank you all so much for watching. And in the video, these are all the cards of my personal picks I think are going to make a huge impact to the Historic format and add a lot of fun cards and a lot of fun interactions to the game. There's so many decks being added. Tribal's insane right now, and I think all of you are sleeping on Tribal because I think they're actually going to be probably some of the top tier decks coming into the next few months. So I actually can't wait for that because Tribal sounds like a very, very fun time. Thank you all so much for watching, If you could, please hit that like and that subscribe button. It will help me out a bunch. Also, you can check out below. I have a link to my coaching page if you are interested. I offer a lot of great coaching sessions everywhere from a beginner all the way to mythic grinder levels or professional players like myself. I will be having a special bundle available on there, which is going to be the Jumpstart Bundle. If there is a very specific Jumpstart deck that you yourself want to build but don't know exactly how to build it, or maybe there's a Jumpstart deck you saw me playing on stream that you really want help playing, then that's the bundle for you. We'll have an hour-and-a-half session. We'll build the deck, we'll go through it, I'll make a sideboard guide for you, we'll jam it, and I'll coach you through the whole thing. So give that a look if it's something that interested you. Without further ado, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Have those fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever the heck in the world you are, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out, folks.